Welcome to Integrative Approaches to Mastering Wellness, lovingly known as I Am Well MD. I'm your host, Tanikella, pediatrician and life coach. I help individuals who are wired and tired break free from the chains of overwhelm so they can enjoy the life they've worked so hard to create. I also help them to support their families in a more holistic way. Welcome to episode 14. So, what happens when you get worried, confused, or overwhelmed? Today, I'd like to talk about something we coaches refer to as indulgent emotions. These emotions take up so much mental real estate that they're hard to ignore. The first time I heard of them being referred to as indulgent, I have to admit, I was annoyed. I was annoyed because I felt like indulgent implied that I wanted to sit there in my misery and that I enjoyed that. But who enjoys being miserable? Well, the reality is no one likes being miserable. However, sometimes emotions like this make it difficult for us to take stock, and because of this, it's hard to focus on being solution-oriented. So let's take the emotion of overwhelm. Here's a scenario. It's Monday morning. I'm still getting the kids ready for school when all of a sudden, I realized that one child forgot to complete their homework. Meanwhile, the other child's crying on the floor that they want school lunch instead of the lunch that I've just made them. And here we are, and we are supposed to leave the house in 10 minutes, but I'm still not ready for work. My spouse already left for work, and there's no one else but me to manage all of this. On top of all of that, I'm sleep deprived and I'm not a morning person to begin with, so I'm feeling super cranky in addition to feeling overwhelmed. I'm hastily trying to put my own lunch together while I comfort the little one on the floor and trying to help the older one with the forgotten homework. In my rush, I spill my soup on the floor. So now that feeling of overwhelm is really mounting. Okay, big breath. Let's stop here. It's clear that in this scenario, there are a lot of things happening all at once. So, how do we manage it? Do we rush to do all the things? I mean, yeah, I could. I might run late, but yeah, I could totally rush and do all the things. Can I pivot? Instead of quote unquote indulging in overwhelm, can I engage in some creativity? What are some ways that I can get creative and get the things done and still be out the door at a relatively good time? Well, let's start with wiping the soup up. Let's make sure that nobody falls and hurts themselves, right? Let's get the little one up off the floor and dry his tears. Lunches. Okay, so my lunch isn't made. His lunch is made, but he doesn't want it. So maybe we can switch things up. And I'll take the dinosaur book bag as my lunch, and I can give him some lunch money so that he can get his school lunch. Awesome. Check. All right, big kid, let's finish getting you ready for school and sit you down so you can do your homework until the little one and I are ready. But all the while, I need to ask myself, what is really the consequence of submitting incomplete homework? Is it that my child is going to feel a sense of shame for not finishing it? Is it that I'm going to feel like less of a responsible parent? Is it that my kiddo is at risk for failing the class? I think a key piece here is recognizing what that end result might look like so that I have a better understanding of why I feel overwhelmed about this particular issue in the first place. All right, so that's phase one. That's the phase where we put the fire out. Another piece of phase one is not letting it ruin the rest of my day. Yep, let's admit that was a pretty busy morning, but I don't want to relive it by playing it scene by scene over and over again in my mind, unless I'm thinking of solutions. So that leads us right into phase two. What are some things that I could do to prevent situations like this from happening in the future? Well, Sadly, when it comes to toddlers, predictability completely goes out the window. Well, most toddlers, I admit. Some of y'all have really, really cute, sweet, compliant toddlers. And some of us don't. So, in any case, maybe ensuring that I have a few extra minutes in the morning to deal with unexpected delays like tantrums might be a good idea. Um, what about lunches for the family? Maybe we can pack most of the lunch the night before, and that way it's not quite so hard to put them together in the morning. Maybe I can get input from my kids so that school lunches can be decided together. Yes, I know our kids would love it if we packed Oreos for snack and Snickers bars for lunch. And me as a parent, that's not exactly my idea of a nutritious meal, but this may actually offer a really nice opportunity. Building healthy meals together and getting buy-in from your kids may actually be a win for both of you. You get to pack something that you feel good about, and they get to learn something about nutrition, which, to be honest, is great to learn when you're still a child, because undoing bad habits when you're a teenager or an adult, it gets hard. All right, homework. So maybe I could try to designate a specific time for homework on Saturday afternoons or Sunday mornings. And once my kiddos are done, I can encourage them to learn how to pack their book bags on their own so that they learn some self-efficacy skills and build confidence. I'm pretty sure that Monday morning expletives are not going to help my kids build self-confidence. They're just going to want to hide in the corner or lie to me about not finishing their homework. So really what I want to do is I want to incentivize them by working with them, maybe creating a wall chart where they get to check off the tasks that they've completed, so it gives me and my kids something to be proud of. I know all of this sounds like a little extra work, but once everyone starts to fall into routines, I'm pretty sure it's going to make the little bumps in the road more manageable and less overwhelming. You can't predict the future, but there are certain things you can plan for, so make the effort ahead of time to plan. Trust me, your future self will thank you. All right, everyone. Until next time, be well. If you've liked what you heard, give us a 5-star rating and share this podcast with a friend. If you want to learn more information about Dr. Tanikella and what she does, visit her at imwellmd.com and subscribe to her email list. If you'd like to get coached, she has programs for you and the whole family.